Welcome to this presentation of the Western Ohio Railway. A business trip to Los Angeles the first week of April 2025 gave me the opportunity to spend the weekend sightseeing with friends. These friends were gracious enough to incorporate some rail fanning on my behalf. On a beautiful California Saturday morning, we visited the Travel Town Museum at Griffith Park. Nestled in beautiful Griffith Park in Los Angeles, California, the Travel Town Museum is a captivating destination for train enthusiasts and history buffs alike. Established in 1952, the museum is dedicated to preserving and showcasing the rich history of railroading in the western United States. The museum opened in the early 1950s when city officials in Los Angeles wanted to create a place in the community to preserve and celebrate the transportation heritage of the region. The park officially opened on December 14, 1952. And while the park celebrates many forms of ground transportation, railroads are by far the dominant theme. For rail fans, the main attraction is the collection of steam locomotives. For someone like me who is far more familiar with eastern railroads, it is exciting to see a collection of western equipment. Southern Pacific, Western Pacific, and Union Pacific are all represented, as well as some local, regional, and shortline power. The museum is an outdoor display. That may send shivers down the spine of a rail fan. To the credit of the museum, most of the equipment is very well preserved. Probably my favorite engine on the grounds was the very first one you see when you enter. Southern Pacific number 3025 was built in 1904 by the American Locomotive Company. It is a 442 Atlantic-style engine weighing in at a modest 115 tons. This beautiful machine served the Southern Pacific on the Coast and Valley lines for nearly 50 years. During its time in service, it powered trains for Presidents Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson. In 1952, it became the first locomotive donated to the museum at Griffith Park. Now, before you think I spent a lot of time researching this engine, I'll share my secret. Each display at the museum has a QR code on it so you can scan to get more information. You can get the history on most of the equipment at the Travel Town Museum. Me? I took a photo of each QR code so I could do the research at home. My friends are kind, but they were not going to tolerate me reading every sign. They wouldn't even believe I was reading. They would tell you that I was just looking at the pictures. The collection of steam engines is not limited to traditional engines you'd expect to find retired from the large Class I railroads of the region. The Travel Town Museum also features a Shay, a Heisler, and a couple of different saddleback engines. They also have some unique road names, likely unfamiliar to most rail fans. These include names like the City of Los Angeles Harbor Department, Sharpfellows, and the Santa Maria Valley. The Travel Town Museum has some unique diesel and electric motive power too. Pacific Electric Company number 1544 is a unique looking engine with the cab rising far above the low profile and angular engine body. 1544 was built in 1902 and named Electra. 1544 was one of the many workhorses that helped the city of San Francisco recover following the 1906 earthquake. The grounds have a fairly large shelter built in the classical style of a passenger shed. A lot of equipment is stored here to protect it from the elements. This includes a lot of the freight equipment collected here. The freight equipment includes boxcars, tank cars, gons, and flats. The museum is also home to a few cabooses and passenger cars. If there was one disappointment for me, it was the Pennsylvania heavyweight dining car. The interior was gutted. I think the museum may rent out this car as a party room or a meeting place, and removing all the tables and seats gives them a lot more flexibility to accommodate parties. So it is understandable, and if it helps the museum generate revenue to keep the other equipment in good shape, it is a reasonable sacrifice, but it's still sad to see for a rail fan. A pleasant surprise and a near miss was the large club layout in one of the buildings on the grounds. The East Valley Lines has a large in-scale layout at the end of one of the display buildings. The layout has a viewing platform for park visitors, but is clearly designed for the club members to work on and operate the layout. For the model railroader in me, it was certainly a highlight of the visit. Travel Town is a transportation museum, so the displays include more than just trains. The shelter that houses the in-scale layout also has a few more freight cars, but also includes other forms of ground transportation. This includes an old circus cart for transporting animals, vintage cars and delivery trucks, including one for Carnation Milk and one for the REA. An old standard oil wagon and an old fire truck round out the vintage collection of cars and wagons. The park has a train ride too. I'm not sure about the scale, so I'm not going to guess. but it looks really nice in its classic Southern Pacific daylight colors. The route goes beyond the museum and carries passengers to other parts of Griffith Park. I mentioned the QR codes previously that are on each display. This is part of what they call the Whistle Stop Tour. This gives you access to a ton of information about each display. The rest of the grounds include other railroadiana. Signals, including an old wigwag signal, can be investigated up close. The museum also provides easy access to the cabs and interiors of a few cars, giving visitors the opportunity to feel what it is like to sit at the controls of a powerful steam locomotive. All of this is free. There was no admission to get into the Traveltown Museum. If you take the time to look at each display, you're probably looking at a couple of hours. My experience was very nice. The museum is clean and spacious, and most of the equipment is in pretty good shape. So if you are ever in Southern California and you have the time, check out the Traveltown Museum at Griffith Park. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. For more information about my Western Ohio Model Railroad, please visit my website at www.dlam15.com/wo.